Hello, everyone. Welcome to Be Bliss, this 11-day transformational journey to remember who you are, remember your why, and to learn how to fly, to step deeper into your art, to express yourself, your sacred heart, and just knowing that you are a masterpiece now and that there's nothing else that you need to do or change to just be your authentic self. And so these next 11 days is all about embodying, embracing, accepting, and expressing your authentic self. I'm going to be your guide, Pedro Juan, who's going to be serving and supporting you of tapping deeper into your heart, your soul, your gifts, your dharma, your destiny, your passion, your purpose. And sometimes we have to unlearn, we have to untrain the trained mind and come back to our pure essence of loving bliss. And so right now I'm going to share some breath, movement, and sound to get us grounded. And then I'm going to share more about the outline of this program. And I'm going to share a little bit about my story. And then we're going to get right into some practice before we set some intentions and some invocations of some spiritual support for this beautiful container. And to line that up, I invite you to find a comfortable seat. Everything's an invitation. You can do or not do anything that I suggest. In this moment, I invite you to find a comfortable seat. If you're seated on the floor, invitation to have a pillow beneath your hips. Gently lift your chest, softening your jaw and your shoulders, and relaxing the body. The invitation for most of these sessions is to be on your yoga mat each day. The first 3 days is going to be a bit more workshop style. However, on a yoga mat with a pillow is going to be your preferred place for the duration of our time together. I invite you to smile and just feel a good feeling in your body and gently wag your tail like a happy puppy when their owner comes home and just coming home to yourself and I love you so much. Oh, I missed you so much. Thank you so much for coming home. How dare you leave me here by myself? I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ready to bring your right hand over your heart, your left hand over your ribs, and just gently embrace yourself, giving yourself a big hug and smile a bit brighter. The hands to the heart center, gently bowing your head in humility, honoring your blissful, loving awareness of who you are, your true nature. Allowing your hands to come into your lap with your palms facing up. Lifting the chest, sit down and back into the tail. Reaching through the crown, gently tuck your chin, gaze towards the brow, tall spine. Relax the jaw and the face. With your eyes gently gazing towards the forehead, soften your awareness down and back. Open your peripheral awareness. Feel your consciousness expand and feel the space all around you. Feel the air on your skin. Feel the space in front of your head and your face, above your head, behind you in the corners. Blessing this place with your awareness, any energies, frequencies that are no longer in coherent resonance with any being here. We welcome one soul, one body, and just welcoming full presence in your body now. And gracefully scanning the right side of your aura, your electromagnetic field, and scanning in front of you. Invite you to smile, feel gratitude, tuning into what you're thankful for. Gently scanning to your left, scanning behind you and beneath you. Just encapsulate your whole aura with your awareness. And feeling the sensation of appreciation, feeling grateful for your body, the sacred temple of the divine that you call home, that you live inside of. And remembering that you are not your body, you are not your mind, and that our spiritual essence is eternal. And this is our true nature. Loving bliss. Sat Chit Ananda, as true consciousness is loving bliss. And just taking a moment to embrace silence, stillness, and spaciousness, and taking a moment to just be here now. Relax the body with a tall spine. Gently engaging awareness of your breath and your body, and just be here now. Not controlling the breath, just observing the breath. And observing body sensation. Invite you to begin to wiggle your fingers, your toes, moving all the fingers in the palms. Part of what we're going to be doing each day is really working to bring awareness to the joints. Invite you to move your wrists. And so you can mirror me. You can do your own type of movement in your joint. And so the invitation is just be in the joint that I'm guiding you through. So in your wrists and now coming through your forearms, twisting through your forearms, you can keep moving your fingers and your wrists through the elbows, bringing movement through the shoulders and the chest, going the opposite direction. I want you to inhale your hands up, lean to your side, reaching up into the opposite side, reaching the hands up big and tall, looking up. Make a big chest and bring your shoulder blades together. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, big chest, looking up, back bend. And again, inhale, big chest, looking up, back bend. If you want to stand up, you can. Regardless, I invite you to interlace your hands behind your back with the big chest. Gently draw your shoulders back, moving your head and your neck. Inhale with a nice big chest. Shoulder blades together. Feel the chest and the fronts of your shoulders. I invite you to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Relax your face. Breathing nice and deep. Feel the stretch. Once more. All the way out. And release. Relaxing with the hands in the lap for a moment and just taking a moment to pause and just see how you feel a little bit different after a little bit of movement. I invite you to gently smile and just see how it feels. So what we're going to be doing is exactly this. We're going to move our body. We're going to have awareness of our body. We're going to be tuning into our breath. And that is the basic premise of a path of coming back to bliss. There's not the way to bliss. There's not the way to the higher power, whatever you perceive or believe to be something that is universal. There are many ways. And so I'm going to be sharing with you ways that resonate with me. And one of the things that I find to be really helpful and beneficial is also using sounds. And so throughout these next 11 days, the invitation is to emote and express yourself through sound. So there's not a right way, there's not a wrong way. It doesn't need to sound pretty. It actually can sometimes be the most beneficial and healthy and therapeutic if it sounds whatever you need. And right now, I'm just going to invite you to start with something simple. We're going to use an A or an ah. And so this is the heart chakra. This is connecting this unity consciousness of just bringing oneness and presence. And so for 3 breaths, we're going to inhale deep, and then I invite you to make the tone Ah, and any form of that tone, ah, that feels good to you. It could be higher, it could be lower. Oh, ah, it could be however feels authentic to your body right now. So I invite you to bring your hands over your heart. You're going to gently close your eyes, and we're going to just do a rolling tone of the letter a silent A or ah. Nice deep breath in. Inviting a deep breath and gently hold the breath at the top. Holding the breath and just taking a moment to pause. Slowly exhale, relax the body, and just observe sensation in the body. And invite some shaking movements. And so if you want to stand, you can stand. If you want to stay on your mat, you can stay on your mat. I invite you to begin to shake out through your hands, shaking out through the wrists. If you're standing, your knees and your ankles and feel your hips. If you're seated, focus on moving your chest. I invite you to move your face and start to open up your jaw. Ah, and then take deep breaths and let out whatever sound wants to come out of you while you shake your body. Ah. Keep moving, shaking. I bet you stick your tongue out, make a big, ugly sound. Ah. Keep shaking and feel like you're that silly class clown, the kid in the back of class that's just making a ruckus. Deep breath in. Take a deep breath in, hold the breath. Squeeze your anus, your sex organs, lift the pelvic floor, gently engage the abdominal muscles. Heart lifts, shoulder blades together, reach through your crown, gently tuck your chin, gaze at the brow, sit into the tail. Index and thumb come together, soften your jaw, big chest, relax the muscles over the bones. Relax the body, relax the breath, just be. We're going to do a breath of fire, which is a rapid breath in and out through your nostrils, through the nose while pumping your navel, the belly. We're going to take a deep breath in together. We're going to exhale all the way out. You're going to breathe in halfway, and then we're going to focus just on the exhale as we bring the belly in. Go ahead, inhale halfway to begin. And Inhale nice and deep. Hold the breath. Squeeze your anus, your sex organs, lift your pelvic floor. Gently squeeze and tense along your spine. Squeeze and tense your body and hold. Gently gaze at the forehead, tall spine. Exhale all the way out. Relax your body and just be. Embrace stillness. You're doing it. You're doing so good. Isn't it nice to feel bliss, to be bliss, even just for a moment, even if you're just dipping your toe into it at the end of these little practices? So I just wanted to share a few little unique modalities that I'm going to be offering throughout the next 11 days of ways that you can serve and support yourself in being bliss, where it's not just this abstract conceptual theory of, oh, what does it mean to be bliss? It's about a feeling, it's an experience, it's this it's an orgasmic sensation that's connecting you to the universe, that's connecting to everything and everyone. And it comes through your body, it comes through your breath, through your movement, through sound. It's an experiential wisdom that no one can teach you, no one can take from you, no one from a book that's ever written it, no one can ever take this from you, that you are a sovereign being, that you are one with your divine source, and that this is an opportunity to restore your freedom. And remember, this is all about remembering your why and to learn to fly. So I thank you for joining me here in this medicine space. I'm your host, Pedro Juan, and for the next 11 days, we're going to be sharing different modalities of yoga. I'm going to be sharing shamanism, Chinese medicine and philosophy, and how we weave all of these traditions together to be able to remember your why, your passion, your purpose, your dharma, your destiny, and to understand that your vision, your greater vision, we can reverse engineer it and generate goals with soul. And so when we have milestones along the path, things that light us up, that we're excited, and it's not just this, oh, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I want to do this. It's coming into what's something in the next 3 years, in the next 6 months, in the next 1 month, something that you can do and be proactive and take courageous action towards making your dreams a reality. And it's not just this woo-woo visionary dream, it's something that's tangible because you have a plan. And so tomorrow we're going to be working on developing a map of how to get there, your blueprint. And then when you learn your core desired feelings, these are how you desire to feel inside intrinsically, and then how you desire to be felt. This is the external environments, how the people that come in your aura, that come in your space, how do they feel in your presence? And this is a compass. And so when you're clear of where you want to go and you have a compass of how you want to feel along the way, and these milestones, these goals with soul, it helps us to enjoy the most beautiful meandering river of consciousness to where it's a blissful journey. It's not a straight line between you and this ultimate vision. It's the journey is the way. The way knows the way. And so one of the things I'm super passionate about is inviting you to sing your song. And there's this song that's coming through right now that I was singing a lot in Bali before I even knew that my baby was existing. And I would share it to help my partner calm down and for me to find peace. And so I invite you to just close your eyes for a moment and just tune into the idea that it's okay if you don't know the way, but the way knows the way. I invite you to bring your hands over your heart and take a nice deep breath. And take my words as your own. And just continuing to breathe long, slow, and deep. You don't have to know the way. The way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way. Trust the way. Feel your way. The way knows. The way knows. The way knows the way. So I just welcome this prayerful invocation for whatever you call your higher power, your angels, your allies, your animal totem, ascended masters, the elements, the spiritual consciousness, the seven directions, all of the unity consciousness of the most benevolent, high and holy energies to serve and support us in this beautiful sacred container. I give thanks for this beautiful gift of life. Thank you for joining us here in this medicine space. Thank you for welcoming us into our power to overcome the authoritarian rule in our world, to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, to get the fuck out of our own way and to share our gifts in a way that's fun, that feels good, and that we feel free. Thank you, 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 thank you. Invite you to bring your hands in prayer pose to your third eye and affirm, I'm highly gifted. I'm psychic. I am an intuitive being, and I trust my higher knowing. Only I know what is best for me, and I am learning to trust myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Take a deep breath in, let out a big sound. And so here we go. What does the next 11 days look like? So days 1 through 3 is looking about where are you right now? Where do you desire to be? And developing a path to get there. It's also important to understand that there are blocks in our path. And this can look like addictions. This can look like anxiety, depression, grief, anger. It could look like distractions from your phone. It could look like toxic, unhealthy relationships, environments that don't serve you, a shitty job you hate. There's so many ways that distractions, procrastinations can manifest in our life. And so we're going to look at the vices and the virtues. What are the things that really light you up? When you do it, you feel better. Something that I always say is I always feel better after I do yoga. 100% of the time. Every time I do yoga afterwards, I feel better. And so one of the underlying intentions is that at the end of this 11 days, regardless of if you already have a morning practice or you have your own exercise routine, is that you start to incorporate even just a little bit of yoga and meditation into your daily life. And so just think for a minute, if you took 20 minutes every day just for yourself before you look at your phone, before you respond to an email or a text, or you look at social media and you just connected to yourself and you felt clear of what was your direction, what is your direction for the day, and then you're feeling a sense of ease, of release, your body feels more comfortable, and you're in a responsive, in a present place instead of being reactive. When most of us, we start off and most people touch their phone and that's the first thing they do, and they start scrolling or reacting to other people's urgent needs. And so ultimately, this is about developing your priorities and then creating space to focus on the things that are most important to you. So I'm actually going to lay out the next 11 days and tell it to you day by day. So today is looking at where are we and where do we desire to go? Day 2 is all about your greater vision. And so thinking about your vision is this someday goal, and then reverse engineering it through 5 years, through 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, 1 week. And then what can you do daily? What can you do right now to bring you closer to that someday vision? How we want to feel, how we want to be felt. This is the compass once again. And so we have a map and a compass. That's what we're going to work to be developing the first couple of days. On our third day, we're going to be looking at the virtues and the vices, and we're going to do a habit swap. And so each day on days 4 through 10, we're going to be swapping a habit. There's more than one way that you can do this. You could just decide if you want to practice sobriety for the duration of this. You can just decide all these mind altering substances, I'm going to take a break for this whole time. If that sounds like totally crazy sauce to you right now, you can just one at a time do a swap. And so say for instance, if you drink alcohol on the weekends or you drink alcohol daily, you can decide on Monday for 1 week, I'm not going to drink alcohol. And instead you can do something like kava or another herb or something that's like a gentle way to soothe yourself. Say, for instance, on the next day, if you smoke, you could let go of smoking and you could use like aromatherapy or practice breath work. And so each day, the intention is you're going to let go of one vice and you're going to add one more virtue. And you're going to do more good things for yourself and you're going to do less of the things that you know are holding you back, that are like crutches. And maybe they served you in coping through stress in the past when you were younger. But think about it as like you're a grown up now and you don't play with a rattle like a little kid's rattle, like goo goo ga 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 ga. And you know what? Some people do play with certain toys for the whole life, and there's no judgment. I'm just using this as if you're watching this right now and you've made it this far, you're on the progressive edge of consciousness. And your soul has a higher calling to be a part of the wave of awakening that's proliferating and spreading throughout the human consciousness. We don't subscribe to getting vaccinated. We don't subscribe to being in an authoritarian government and being told what to do and when to do it. We don't resonate with being an employee and working for somebody else. We don't resonate with a lot of the atrocities that are happening in our world. And so this is an invitation to take back your power. And it starts with where you focus your attention, where you focus your sacred life force, and how you give your life force away or you cultivate it. And so a big part that we're working to transform, the reason and the way that we're transforming anxiety and depression in particular is addiction is the coping mechanism for addiction is the coping mechanism for anxiety and depression because I'll just go into day four. Day four is fire, and that's all about happiness and joy. And so if you're anxious, you're in the excess. If you're depressed, you're in the deficient. And so when we're not feeling good, we use those substances to feel better because we don't feel good about ourselves. But if you're happy and you're not reaching for an addiction to cope with a feeling of suffering, then you're being bliss, you're being your authentic self. And so a big part of what we're working to do is to, when you're doing your art, like if you play music, you're playing music. If you're a writer, you're doing writing. If you're doing whatever it is that lights you up, your job, your livelihood, it is ideally and ultimately I'll say should, it should be something you really enjoy, that you're really good at, that makes you happy. And so that's one of the intentions that we're going to keep tuning into that throughout the journey. So day four is the element of fire, solar plexus chakra, action, willpower, discipline, follow through. And the Chinese philosophy, it's the heart, the pericardium, the small intestines. We're going to be looking at transforming anxiety and depression and to create more joy. So each day we'll focus on one of the seven primary chakras and we'll focus on the organs and meridians that correspond. And we're bridging Indian, Chinese, and shamanic philosophy as well. And so fire, transformation, the wood is burned and it creates ash. So joy, being in more happiness, also creates more peace and stability for ourselves. Day five is tuning into the earth element. The earth element is about the root chakra, grounding. It's your stomach, your spleen. It's about transforming worry, overthinking, pensiveness, being overly in your head. When you're in your head, it's like we're not grounded. When we're in our body, when we're present, we're grounded. We're creating more peaceful tranquility, serenity, this energy of safetiness, being here now. So the idea that we're going to be tuning into is to bridge heaven to earth. When you're in a space of presence, we can be an antenna from the universe to the earth. And in the Taoist perspective, in Chinese philosophy, what differentiates humans from other animals is that we can tune into higher states of consciousness. Some people say that dolphins can do this too. They have sex for pleasure, one of the only other animals that does that. And we're going to talk about humans right now. So the next day, we're getting into the element of metal. So metal is about the lungs, the large intestines, letting shit go, releasing waste, elimination, grief, loss, sadness, melancholy, this somber energy that a majority of our planet's issues are related in unresolved metal issues. So wars in our world, it's all based in an imbalance of the element metal. If we learned how to communicate and to understand one another and accept each other's differences, celebrate our unique connections, we can be able to harmonize. We don't all have to think or believe in the same thing to be in a harmonious symbiotic relationship. We can all call God different thing, we can all eat different food, we can look different ways, we can sing and pray and chant different ways. As long as we're not intentionally hurting anybody, there's not one way that's right or wrong or better or worse. And so the element of metal is ultimately teaching us to come into deeper levels of acceptance of who we are and why we're here. And so this is a really big, powerful day. This is the middle of the journey. And I'd say it's one of the most influential because when we can learn how to heal our unresolved grief from childhood, that's when the need for addiction diminishes because we're no longer craving for something to take us out of suffering. And so the next time that you catch yourself feeling uncomfortable and you unconsciously grab your phone to scroll, or you unconsciously grab food or a drink or a smoke or a whatever, I invite you to pause and just like you can bring your hands on your body and just like ask yourself, like, what am I feeling? If you can name the emotion, you can tame the emotion and just help to understand it, accept it, understand it. And so it's a really deep topic, and it's a real deep core area of focus to promote resolution for the whole retreat. The next day is about water, clarity of the vision, continuing to come back to what does water do? It's cleansing, it's purifying, it's nourishing. And so, again, I'll be weaving in different concepts from these different ideologies, different philosophies, and supporting you of like gather the pieces of this that resonate with you. Like what makes you feel excited? You're like, oh my gosh, shamanism. Like, I don't know anything about shamanism. Like, tell me more. You want to eat it all up. And then maybe some of you, like, you love yoga. Maybe you already know about your chakras, but maybe it's like, oh my gosh, I never knew how to work my throat chakra. I feel like I've had a blocked throat chakra. How do I work that? And then other days it's like I'm talking about the emotions and the Chinese philosophy, like, oh my gosh, on water, it's the kidneys, it's the bladder, it's fear. Fear, the polarity of fear is love. Courageous action is the threshold guardian to come out of fear and into love. And so this idea of clarity plus commitment with consistent action can lead you to become confident in whatever it is that you do. And so I'm going to say that one more time. Clarity plus commitment plus consistent, courageous, loving action will support you in developing confidence to be able to do anything that you want to do. Sacral chakra, that's the water as well. It's sacred, sensual. So sensual is related to the senses, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the taste, the touch. It's embodied, it's presence. Sexual, this creative life force that has been shamed, it's been controlled and manipulated by religions, by governments, by the media. It's disgusting and foul how the most beautiful, sacred expression and connection in the world has been demonized, objectified, and ultimately tarnished and bastardized and just like monetized. Like it's a capitalistic society of greed, lust, power, dominance, and like ugh. And so part of the intention of this day is like taking back your sexual power in a way that you love it and you embrace it and you allow yourself to feel yummy and juicy and orgasmic and playful. And this is also an area, it's sexual energy is synonymous with creativity. And so it's empowering you to be creative and to do more things that you love to express yourself. I'm fire hosing you right now because I'm giving you the outline, inviting you to take a deep breath and maybe a drink. The next day. So the way that the sequence is going is the generating cycle based on traditional Chinese medicine. Water feeds wood. Wood is nourished by the water. The wood element teaches us to grow deep roots and tall branches, helps us to bear fruit and share our flowers with the world. We all want to be of service. We all want to share our gifts. And so, through connecting to the infinite well of wisdom, but connecting to your higher power, connecting to your divine and sovereign soul, we can continue to understand what is the flavor that is authentically you, not what your parents said or what the media or some person in school or some mentor said. It's like, what is really who you are and how you want to share yourself with the world. And this is magic sauce. This is, again, Dharma, what comes naturally that you love to do, that the world needs, that you can be paid for. Your job is not supposed to just be something that you make money to pay bills. We did not come to Earth to pay bills and to work a shitty job we hate. That's not why we're here. No. Okay. So one of the outcomes that I want to inspire you to do is to be open to the idea. If you're not already a spiritual entrepreneur, if you're not already in the realm of consciously creating income by doing something you love, is that you start creating a side hustle. And if that means you're doing a free meditation once a month on the full moon, awesome. I'm for it. Tell me when and where, and I'll do my best to be there if I'm available, or share it with somebody. The point is that the world needs your story. The world needs to hear what you have to say. And there's someone out there that on a spectrum of, we'll just say, from A to Z, right? You don't have to be at Z to be able to teach someone how to get from A to B. You could be at MNOP, and maybe you're just past the halfway mark of this ultimate goal that you're working towards, but you can still help someone get from A to B to C. And so, with the idea of developing a side hustle or supporting people through a similar challenge, don't hoard your knowledge and wisdom. Please, for the love of God, share yourself, be of service, and help others along the way. So, wood is about transforming anger, bitterness, irritation, frustration, resentment through compassion, seeing ourselves in the other, loving kindness, like choosing that when you're feeling angry, who you're hurting the most is yourself, because it doesn't feel good to be in our body when we're angry. Like, I know it because, like, I've been a really angry person most of my life, and I suppressed those emotions 10 years heavily through addiction, using a lot of substances. I'll talk about myself in a moment, but the idea is that wood, we the metal is acceptance, right? We're talking about the elements and how these elements interact with each other. If we can accept what happened to us as a child in our past relationships, our family, our parents, accept it, understand everyone's doing their best at their level of consciousness in each moment, and we just let it go. All right, whew, all right, we don't have to hold this extra bags of like clutter at the front door. Let's like donate that, throw it in the trash, burn it, get it the fuck out of here. So, forgiveness. Forgiveness is the key. This is where miracles happen. In the Course in Miracles, they talk about atonement. And atonement comes from fully forgiving and accepting and knowing that there's a true divine loving essence behind everything and everyone, and that the universe is conspiring to serve and support your highest and greatest good. We'll talk about the third eye that day. The next day is the element of air. We're coming into spontaneity, to play. I'm going to be really lovingly hounding you to develop your daily rituals, to create more conscious rhythms and patterns where you're not just being reactive and like a ping pong ball in your life, to where you have more structure and orientation to help to get you to where you want to go. And every once in a while, we need to just get our yayas out and just move and be playful and silly and spontaneous. And so on Saturday, one of the invitations is inviting you to, if you are too structured, don't be structured. If you're not having enough fun, go play, get outside, do something that makes you happy. We'll be talking about the heart chakra on that day as well. And on day 10 is the ether. This is the throat chakra. This is communication. This is expression. This is connecting to divinity, humility, purity, just authentically bearing yourself to the world, community, connecting with yourself. Through your authentic radiance, you attract more people that are in resonance, in harmony with you, and that you feel like you have a sense of belonging. And ultimately, this is just a reminder that you belong, and accepting yourself is one of the greatest gifts you can give the world. And a lot of the people that I generally attract, they felt like black sheep. They felt like they didn't fit in. They didn't feel good enough. They felt judged. They were like bullied. They were ridiculed. They were rejected. They were fired for reasons unreasonable. They were like dot dot dot. All these things. Like, and if you're open to the idea of past lives, I'm going to talk about those things. In past lives, being, you know, burned at the stake, the witches. Those who were the mystics that were torn away from power. And it's not about being in power and necessarily, however, knowing that you're a leader. If you're watching this right now, you are a leader, you're a healer, and you're a teacher, because that's who I attract. I attract people that have a role of service, of being of service. And so that's days 1 through 10. On the last day, the invitation is just coming back into living your life as a sacred ceremony. That may your footsteps be prayers for the planet. May your presence be a blessing wherever you may go. May you connect with your loved ones and in a way that's more present, and to be more present with yourself, and to not say yes when it's a no, to listen to your internal compass and to trust your higher wisdom, and ultimately walk away with a map of where you want to go and how to get there, a compass to feel the way you want to feel along the way, and new tools to develop a ritual. And so on the final day, we're going to be tuning into what is your daily ritual, and to commit to, at least, if you don't already have a daily practice, at least 20 minutes every day that you're doing something for self-development, for self-care, some breath, some sound, some movement, some stretches, some exercises. And I'm going to share with you a practice that you can just take it and you can use it in the challenges at the end. After we finish the 11 days, for the following 3 weeks, every day, or at least 5 days a week, you do the same practice for 20 minutes every day. And it's going to be some basic breathing, some movements of the spine, and what I call core four. And so I invite you to go ahead and take a deep breath in. Take a few more big breaths. Oh, I want to share a little bit of myself, but I want you to just move for a moment. However you're seated, I want you to move. And so if you're seated on the floor, maybe you're moving your feet. If you're seated in a chair, moving your neck, just getting yourself a little bit more comfortable adjusting. I invite you to twist your spine and twist the opposite way. Move your body, move your head and your neck. And just take a few more movements. And feel your body, feel your breath. Ah. So I'm going to share just a little bit about my story, and then we're going to get into a physical practice, and then we're going to wrap it up. So, who am I? Why am I here? Uh, I was born Peter John Schwartz II. I've had a lot of sense of identities, a lot of roles, a lot of opportunities that I've served. I'm going to take a breath and just see what wants to come through for the sake of this moment. So, some of my first memories that I recall being a child was seeing spirits, and I was honestly completely terrified. I remember being in a crib. I felt like I was in jail, and I remember seeing and feeling spirits like they were attacking me, and I was so scared. I remember climbing out of my crib, running down the hall screaming, and my mom said that she remembered this happening at least 10 times. And I was seeing spirits, and it was freaking me the fuck out, to be honest. So those are my first memories in life. Growing up in the church, both my parents were raised in Catholicism. My father's side was extremely Catholic, and I my parents were separating when I was young, like 3 to 4 years old. I remember having a bottle of soy sauce, watching a cartoon I wasn't supposed to watch on the couch early in the morning, And very young, I was just like had this insatiable desire for salty, for sweet, for extreme flavors. And this need for constant stimulations and feeding into cravings, it evolved from there. And so from these, it went to video games and then porn, alcohol, marijuana, other mind altering substances. And like from age 12 to 22, I was deep in addiction. I didn't realize it until I was out of it. However, I was deeply using, and there was a lot of other abuse, and from my experience, abandonment, neglect, things that were very valid and real to me that I don't need to get into that right now. However, I was suffering and I didn't know how to cope with it except for what I saw growing up. And that's how I saw others around me cope with life. Is like if you're having a rough day, you have a beer. If you have, a tough time, like, oh, here, smoke some weed. And I took it to an extreme, like I would drink a bottle of vodka, like a whole bottle by myself, and be coherent and be the life of the party and have fun and be a functioning alcoholic. I was a thief for many years. I would steal with like Robin Hood with ethics, like from corporations, and then share it with my friends. I was a compulsive liar. I literally like I could not help myself. Like someone would say something, and then I would like I would have like word vomit and say things that weren't true. And it was like even like my mom just checking in, where are you? And I'm just like saying things or like just ridiculous things. And so part of what I'm doing is I'm humanizing myself and just letting you know that like I came from a really interesting background. And around 17 or 13, I started practicing yoga. So I started to have this like peace without the drugs. But it was like around 17, I started to have mushrooms, and that really opened me up. And then in my early 20s is when I started to have really intense awakening experiences. Started with mushrooms, and then Kundalini yoga and meditation is ultimately what radically changed my life. And so this is the modality that I'm going to be weaving throughout this whole practice. And it's going to be what I'm going to invite you to do for 10 minutes a day. And so the yoga and meditation practice that I'm going to share with you that I encourage you to do 20 minutes a day, half of it is Kundalini yoga and meditation. And then half of it is going to be what I call these core four stretches that I think everyone would not I think. I know every single human on the planet will live a better life if they do at least these four stretches every day. And so that's going to be my invitation, a gift that I'm going to give to you. And I've already done all the work. I did 8 years of curriculum-based education in kinesiology. I went to yoga school. I went to Chinese medical school, another healing arts school for cranial sacral and other healing modalities. I went to an art school for 3 terms in design, interior design, and music. I've been a total nerd. Study with shamans intermittently for 6 years. A Yavapai Wing Creek elder, an oracle connected to Egyptian mythology. Um, a chief of the Lakota tribe, a high priestess of Oshun, a lot of other interesting mystics throughout the world. And I've been gently gathering bits and pieces. And these are people that people call gurus and masters and bow to them and pay thousands of dollars to spend a weekend with them. And I would live with them for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months at a time and get to be their assistant, their apprentice. And a lot of times I would be like their healer too. And the person that rubbed their feet and made them green juice and took care of them and drove them around. And I got to learn so much by being in their presence. And I feel like that is what really radically was a profound catalyst in my growth and evolution was getting to serve these immense people that I call gurus. And I'll just say one in particular, Priya Jain was the first embodied individual that I met in person that I honor as enlightened. And she's living, she exists in real life. She lives currently in Temecula, California. And so if you're in Southern California and looking for a spiritual teacher that's in person that you can go see, she has a retreat center there and she's an amazing being. And I'll say one other, Brother Bayu is the first shaman that I ever met, that I got connected to in 2012. And he introduced me to the Andean medicine wheel. And so There's a lot of different teachings and teachers that I've encountered, and ultimately, one of the greatest teachings that I've encountered is the elements. And through traditional Chinese medicine, since 2014, I've been living my life in alignment with the elements, with the seasons. And when we learn to mirror the seasons, we can learn to ride the waves of life more. And so that's my story in a nutshell. I guess one last thing I'll say, like at this point in my professional career, I just talked about everything up until my professional career, is that I've been in business for 13 years as a spiritual entrepreneur. I've led over 4,000 healing sessions. I've offered over 300 workshops and ceremonies. I've led, been invited to contribute or facilitated in over 60 retreats. I'm extremely passionate about helping other people understand their passions and their purpose and to live a life that's aligned with their higher calling. And I am super thankful to be here in the Riviera Maya of Mexico, one of the most beautiful places in the world, with my beautiful pregnant wife who's so gorgeous and stunning and amazing. And I love her so much. And my little baby Isis inside of her. Oh my God. And I'm super thankful to be here. I live in a beautiful home on the water, and I just feel so blessed and privileged. And just a reminder that you can be, do, and have anything, that anything is possible. It's never, you're never too late, never too sick, never too old to make a change. Like, yeah, maybe if you're 40 and you wanted to play professional football, like maybe you missed it there, but it's if you're a musician and maybe you've been working a shitty job you don't like for a long time, but you still make music, you still have time. If you're still breathing, you still have a pulse, you still have time. And you don't have to have some iconic stardom to be successful as a musician, right? You don't have to be a New York Times bestselling author to be a successful author. The point is that you have a story and you have some form of healing artistry that the world needs. And so my invitation, I'm welcoming you into that space, regardless of what level you're at, where you're at on this journey, to say yes to yourself and to say yes to your dreams and to just go for it. And that if you need support beyond these 11 days, that I'm here for you, that I have other offerings and opportunities working with me privately and in groups, online or in person, where I can serve and support you in transforming addiction, understanding your why, and learning how to fly. So I say thank you for joining me in this medicine space, as this brand, as I share it, is now Feng Shui Your Life. And also one of the undertones that's connected here is clearing clutter holistically from your mind, from your digital space, from your physical space, from your life, the things that you don't need anymore, gracefully letting them go. Inviting a nice deep breath and letting it out with a sigh. And ready to take 2 big breaths and stick out your tongue and make some noise. Again. You're doing great. Okay, here we go. So our core 4 and our Kundalini practice. So yoga, excuse me. That's the universe's way of saying less talking, more doing. I was about to do a real riff on yoga philosophy for a second. We're going to just dive right in. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the stretches, the core 4 stretches first, because the asana is this physical postures of yoga. They prepare us for meditation. And that's going to prepare us for the pranayama and the forms of meditation we're tuning into. So without further ado, I bring to you the core 4. So before we start, I'm just going to tell you what these 4 muscle groups that we're stretching are. We're going to stretch in this order: your hip flexors, your hamstrings, your quadriceps, and your glutes. These are the heavy hitters and the primary movers of your hips and thighs, which are the major weight bearing muscles in your body. When you have tension release in your hips and thighs, it supports alignment for your spine. That's where your 7 primary chakras are. This is where your nervous system, it innervates with all of your internal organs. And so just think about this very primal, very basic. If you have less tension on your hips and thighs, your spine is more relaxed and more open. And your body's ability to talk to yourself autonomically, chemically, energetically, electrically, it happens easier with more grace, and you're in less pain, and ideally you're comfortable, you're being bliss. And so one last note before we start is that the number one issue for people with low back pain is related to tension in the hips and thighs. And so if that's you, you're in luck. Here we go. So I invite you to come on to all fours to start. Oh, oh yeah. And before we do the core four, I invite you to just move your hips and your thighs for a moment, move your head and your neck. I invite you to move your face. With your left knee down, I invite you to take a big step forward. You can have your hands down. You can have your hands on your hips. Wherever you are, you're going to pulse and you're going to bring your left foot down, your left hip down and forward. So I invite you to press your hip down and relax. And down and relax. I invite you to squeeze your glutes, your butt muscles, squeeze and tense, and then relax. And now gently go nice and deep and press that hip down and forward. So find your edge, go just outside your comfort zone and then settle in. And let's take 5 long, slow, deep breaths. You're going to gently shift your hips back, extend your right leg, bring your toes up, frame your right leg, twist your chest towards your right leg. You can bring your hands down on either side. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, nice and deep. Exhale and fold. Continue. Fold deeper. Again. Now press your foot down nice and strong and straighten your leg. And relax the body. Press the heel down, straighten your leg strong. One more time, press. Inhale, lift your chest once more. Hold your body. Long, slow, deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Continue. Go a bit deeper, 2 more breaths. Slowly coming out. You can take little pauses in between, depending upon how your body is and how active you are. This may be really intense for some of you, it may be really easy. You can take little micro movements in between. Depending upon your body's current abilities, if you can, the invitation is to lift your left foot with your left hand down, and you're going to reach back and grab your foot. If there's no way this is happening, I invite you to push your left knee down, squeeze your thigh, and you're going to activate the front of your thigh, your quadricep. However, you want to stretch your left quad, you can do that now. If you want to stand on your right leg and pull your foot to your butt, you can do that also. Grabbing the foot, however is appropriate. I invite you to gently kick your foot into your hand for 3, 2, 1. Pull your heel towards your hips. And then kick, feel tension in your left thigh and relax. One more time, squeeze your thigh. 3, 2, 1, pull in nice and deep. 5 deep breaths here. Invite you to lift your chest, tall spine. 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, sounds are welcome, breaths are welcome. Reset the hips. Bring your right foot across, dropping into a pigeon. Any version of a glute stretch that works for you. If this is a no-go, you can sit on a chair and put your right ankle on your left knee, bring your toes up, and then gently fold forward. However you are, I invite you to have your leg in front of you. If you're in the pigeon, your left kneecap is down. Nice big chest. Bring your toes up towards your knee. Big chest. Inhale nice and deep. And gently fold. Inhale, press your left hip down. And relax. Go ahead. You're going to squeeze your glutes. Squeeze and tense your glutes. And relax. Again, squeeze. And relax. Now you're going to work to press your left hip down, twist towards your right, and feel your right glute. And you're going to take several deep breaths here. Adjust your body if you don't feel it a lot. Bring your foot higher. Adjust your hips. Breathe into your right hip. Feel a good feeling. Make some sound. Make a groan. Make a moan. Let's go 3 more big breaths. Make a moan. Make a sigh. 2. 1. Slowly coming out. Taking a moment to pause. Maybe you shake your legs out. Maybe you just pause and sit for a moment. Just be for a moment, wherever you are, whether you're shaking your legs, maybe you're sitting, but just invite you to be wherever you are and feel presence and awareness. So that was the core 4 on one side. We're going to do the same series on the opposite side of your body. Coming back to your tabletop. Tabletop is always a good place to come back to if you ever need a break and you're following along. You can just come back here. You're like, oh, my body really doesn't like that. You know what? That's probably what you need the most. And so you just need to really modify it and listen to your body and be gentle. But coming back here and wagging your tail or bringing your head down into a child's pose or a baby pose can be a really happy place. I invite you for just a moment to curl your toes under your feet, drive your heels back, and stretch the arches of your feet. You can bring your head down if you want. You could interlace your hands behind your back and stretch your neck at the same time. I want you to focus on your feet though first. Get your feet really good stretch right here and take a few breaths. And we're going to go ahead, take your right knee down, take a step forward with the left foot. Hands come to the earth or onto your hips, and you're going to pulse your hips down and forward. And pulse your hips down and forward. And pulse your hips down and forward. So focusing on the right hip flexor now. Go ahead, squeeze your glutes now. Squeeze and tense the glutes. Press your right hip down. Squeeze your glutes. Press your right hip down. One more time. Squeeze and tense your glutes for 3, 2, 1. And go a nice deep stretch. Press your right hip down. Feel an opening in the front of your hip. And take several long, slow, deep breaths. Find your edge. Go past your comfort zone and settle into your sweet spot. You may be guided to lift your right knee off the ground. To find that place, listen to your body. One more big breath. Ah. Slowly bring your hips back. Extend your left leg. Nice big chest. Bring your chest towards your left leg and slowly fold forward, framing that foot. Inhale, big chest, and fold. Inhale, lift, and fold, and lift, and fold, and lift, and fold. Press your left heel down, straighten the leg. Press and release. Press, straighten your leg, and release. Once more, press and release. You're gonna go ahead and fold forward. Take 5 deep breaths. Inhaling, fold forward. 4, 3, 2, deepest expression. Slowly coming out. Rock the hips. However, you're gonna stretch your right quadricep coming into that posture. If you're in this one, your right hand comes down, your right foot comes back. Your left hand comes to grab it. Salute. Gently kick your foot into your hand, feel your right thigh, and release. Go ahead, feel tension in your right thigh somehow, some way. Squeeze, tense, kick, and release. One more time. Squeeze your right thigh, push it forward, and release. Big chest, 5 deep breaths. 4, 3. Accentuate the stretch. Push yourself. 2, 1. Oh, we're 7 out of 8. We're coming for the last piece. Remember, listen to your body. If you need more time anywhere, do so when you're ready. You're making your way into your pigeon. The right kneecap is down. Your left foot is forward. You have a big chest. Your hips are squared. If this is not in your practice, you're seated on a chair with your left foot on your knee, bringing your toes towards your left knee, your left toes towards your left knee, big chest, right kneecap down, hips square to the floor. Inhale, fold forward. Inhale, big chest. Push the hip forward. Inhale, squeeze your glutes and relax. Bring your hands down. Now, in your way that feels authentic to you, you're going to take deep breaths and slowly fold. Whether you're on your forearms, whether you bring your head down, wherever you are, find your sweet spot. Oh, we're going to invite groaning sounds. The intention is you work to press your right hip down, twist towards your left, feel that left glute really opening up. Deep breath in. Oh, make some sound. Big breath. Oh, few more. You're doing great. Oh, don't stop. Push yourself. Oh, once more. Biggest breath of the day. Ah, pause and melt for just a moment. Just be here. Uncoiling, unwinding, releasing, and letting go. Slowly emerging, slowly coming out. Maybe you go onto all fours and make a circle with your hip. Maybe your legs are just in front of you and you want to windshield wiper your knees side to side. I invite you to gently move your head and your neck. Move your body. Be gentle. Excuse me. Don't. Right, and just pause with your hands in your lap and just take a moment to tune in with your thighs and your hips, with your big chest. Sit back into your tail. If you're on the ground, make sure you have a pillow underneath you. And just feeling your body right now. And just feel, how do you feel? I'll just say, I feel a lot better. I did some yoga last night. I did like a workout in the gym today. It was more like lifting weights, and I didn't do as much stretching. And I feel way better. And so this is, we just did 4 stretches. So it's like, wow, like everybody has time to do a few stretches every day. So this is an invitation to make yourself a priority and say yes to yourself. So now we're going to do a short Kundalini practice. It's going to be short today. It'll gently change and evolve. However, we're going to be integrating some breath, some we're going to inhale and hold the breath, squeeze and tense the body. We'll exhale, we'll hold the breath. We'll have different movements and undulations of the spine. Uh, to be mindful of time today, I'm just going to keep it short and simple. And so I'm actually going to invite you to come off your pillow first. And we're going to tune into your root chakra at the tip of your tail. Your hands are going to come onto your knees or the thighs or the shins, the fronts of your legs, wherever it feels good here. And so you're going to inhale with the big chest, and you're going to exhale and you're going to round your back. You're going to inhale with the big chest, and you're going to exhale and you're going to round your back. And so I want you to really focus on rocking your pelvis. So your pelvis is rocking forward, your pelvis is rocking back. Your pelvis is rocking forward, your pelvis is rocking back. You're also moving your chest, but the focal point is in your pelvis. We're moving it forward and back. Invitation to breathe deep in through your nose. We're going to exhale out through your mouth, and you're going to gaze at your forehead. And you're going to move rhythmically. You can start slow and you can build the pace and the cadences that you feel is appropriate. So let's all go ahead and let's shake it off for a second. Take a nice deep breath. And we're going to start together. We're going to go ahead, close the eyes, gaze at the forehead. Inhale, big chest, rock your hips forward. Exhale, round your spine and continue. Inhale nice and deep. Squeeze your anus, your sex organs. Lift your pelvic floor. Gently squeeze the abdominal muscles, big chest, shoulder blades together. Gently tuck your chin. Reach through your crown. Gaze at the forehead. Sit down and back into the tail. Squeeze and tense your body gently. Breathe in a little bit more. Hold your breath. Squeeze and tense the body. Visualize light coming up your spine. Breathing all the way out. Hold the breath out for a moment. Lift your pelvic floor. Bring your belly in and up. Go ahead. Allow natural respiration to occur and just take a moment to just be. Relax your jaw and your shoulders with a tall spine and just be. Dipping the pinky toe into bliss, coming into Sufi grind. We're tuning into the sacral chakra and we're moving in a circular pattern. There's three primary channels or nadis in the Indian yogic Hindu philosophy of in China, they call them meridians. In India, we call them nadis. And these channels, there's a central channel called the Shushmana that comes up your spinal column. And then there's two feminine and masculine channels called the Ida and Pingala. Ida and Pingala. Potato, potato. When we're doing this movement, we're welcoming those channels that polarize each chakra. They weave through each primary chakra. We're helping the energy, the chi, the prana. In Vedic is prana, it means energy. In China, we say chi. In around the world, we say energy. It's just helping the energy to flow. I invite you to make a big chest. Whichever direction you were going, go the opposite direction. I invite you to close your eyes and focus at your pelvis, like you're stirring a bowl of soup and practicing long, slow, deep breaths. Nice deep breath in, hold the breath. Squeeze the anus, the sex organs, lift the pelvic floor, visualize light coming up your spine, gently squeeze and tense the body, hold the breath, relax your jaw and your shoulders, tall spine. Gaze at the brow, sit into your tail. Exhale all the way out. Breathe all the way out. Lift your pelvic floor, bring your belly button towards your spine, and then suck your diaphragm up into your ribs. Hold the breath out. Relax the body and embrace stillness. Feeling a good feeling in the body, inviting you to become aware, becoming aware of what you're feeling in your body, and just checking in with your body and your breath. And so now we're going to come into a breath of fire. You're going to bring your awareness to the belly and inviting you to take a deep breath in, exhale all the way out. And we're going to do the rapid breath while pumping your belly. I invite you to close your eyes. Deep breath in, exhale all the way out. Inhale halfway and begin breath of fire, pumping the navel, visualizing fire in your belly. You're doing really good. Let's finish strong. Keep pumping the belly. Keep breathing fast, rhythmic breath.
Uh,
Push. Go finish strong. Push harder, faster, stronger. Inhale nice and deep. Hold the breath. Squeeze intense. Lift the pelvic floor. Squeeze the body. Visualize light coming up. Relax your face. Relax your shoulders. Squeeze intense. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out. Lift the floor. Belly to the spine. Suck your diaphragm up into your ribs. Hold the breath out. Inhale deep one more time, as deep as you can. Hold the breath. Lift your pelvic floor. Gently squeeze and tense the body. Hold the breath. Visualize light coming up. Find stillness. Exhale all the way out. Palms in your lap, wherever they're comfortable. Big chest, tall spine, relax the body, relax your face, gaze towards the forehead, sit into the tail, and just be. Breath and body awareness, fully present. Just relax, just be. Might need to bring your hands into heart center and just gently bowing yourself and honoring yourself with reverence that you are a divine spark of sovereign ecstasy incarnated in a human form, and that your essence is eternal, loving bliss. I give thanks for this moment, for this gift, and inviting you to tune in to an intention right now. I invite you to tune into, we're going to say what you're releasing and what you're welcoming into your life and who you're becoming. How about like that? And so right now, I invite you to just tune in to what are you releasing right now? Could be emotions, could be habits, could be blocks in any way, shape, or form. Invite you to tune into what are you welcoming. And inviting you to tuning into who are you becoming. And just gently bowing yourself in reverence and giving thanks to the sacred gift of life. And just from your heart, from God's lips to God's ears, your heart broadcasting this signal, just speaking that intention. You can say it out loud if you want. You can just radiate it from the earth to the core of the earth, to the sun, to the center of the sun, to the center of our galaxy, the center of the universe, just radiating to the all. this truth, what we're releasing, welcoming, and becoming, and just taking a few moments to tune into that energy. In completion, I welcome and I honor the East, the fire, eagle, condor, the phoenix, the rising sun, for this nourishing warmth of the fire, to cook our food, to see in the dark, to be warm in the cold, to illuminate what we love. Thank you for joining us here in this medicine space. Aho. To the south, to Sachimama, grandmother serpent, this benevolent rainbow serpent, the essence of keeping our bellies close to the earth, the grounded energy of the earth element, direction of the south, the winds, the guardians, honoring, shedding a layer of the past to let go of what no longer serves and supports us with ease and grace, and moving at our own sacred pace. Grandfather Turtle, thank you for allowing us to honor ourselves to move at our own slow, sacred pace when necessary. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Aho. To the winds of the west, the water, the guardians, Otorongo, Mother Sister Jaguar, Mother Sister Puma, being a fierce protector of the sacred space for all these brothers and sisters, that they listen to their soul, to their heart, now and forevermore, and especially during these next 11 days, really tuning into the whisper of the soul. We thank you, White Buffalo, the purity, the essence, the grace, nurturing comfort. To Bear, Mother Sister Bear, a fierce protector and a guardian. As the West swallows the sun in a good way, we give thanks. Thank you for joining us here in this medicine space. Mini Wichoni Waters Life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho. Atakwe Oyasin. To all of our relations, may we be right relation with all creation as we honor and welcome the north, the air, hummingbird, great journeyer. May we find stillness in flight. And enjoy the sweet delight of the beautiful bouquet of flowers, the spectrums, the flavors, the savor, the gift of now. Thank you for all of the beauty that is here, for Owl for teaching us to get the full 360-degree view and to see into the darkness and to find light. Into the essence of Mariposa, the creature of metamorphosis, may we honor this as a gateway of metamorphosis with ease and grace. The essence of the wind be the air beneath our wings. We give thanks as we remember our why and learn to fly. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho. And gently bringing your hands to the earth or to your legs, whatever feels authentic to you, and just saying thank you, Mother Earth, Pachamama, Tierra Madre, for everything that we've ever experienced, for the good, the bad, the ugly, for our parents, for our grandparents, for our great grandparents, for all the love that had to take place for us to be in these bodies. We thank you for the sacred gift of life. Thank you for this opportunity to love and be loved as we remember ourselves, remembering that we are the ones who've been waiting for. And just say thank you, Creator God, for all the gifts that are here right now, and we're open and ready for more. Feeling the sensation of appreciation in your body and just honoring deep roots to the earth, all the way to the core of the earth, the essence of the metal, of the wood, of grounding your energy down, and just welcoming acceptance and compassion and forgiveness to support you here in this space. Aho. And then there was two, the sixth direction, the above. Give thanks to Father Sky, Tata Enti, Grandfather Sun, reminding us that regardless of the weather, that you always shine. May we be the star that we are, and to know that we will go far as we focus on our dharma, our destiny, to do what brings us into bliss and play, to remember every day to just be ourselves and to not prove ourselves to anyone else, to be like you, Mama Kia, Grandmother Moon, the many phases and cycles, and remember that there's ups and downs and lulls and all arounds, and we just welcome the rhythmic universal essence that we are attuned with in this space. And to the star nations, we give thanks to Arcturians, Hathors, Pleiades, to all of the beings, the most benevolent, high and holy, that are here to serve and support my starseed brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining us here in this medicine space. Aho, Mitakuye Yasin. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And in completion, if you have a pillow, maybe bring it underneath your hips with your hands on your heart and gently bowing to your sacred heart, to the seventh direction, to the center. As we honor the center, honoring this is where you must enter, and just loving yourself each step of the way, and to remember it's okay if you slip and you fall, to dust yourself off and to stand tall. And gently bring your hands to the forehead, just honoring the ether, the divine essence, the core fabric of the universe that we are one with and a part of. Inviting you bring your arms wide, just opening your heart to the infinite realm of possibilities. We give thanks. Thank you to the spark of creation, the divine catalyst of euphoric bliss that we are one with and a part of. Thank you for allowing us to remember that we are love and to be bliss. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us in removing the obstructions and to allow the authentic flow of our true self to shine and to burn our brilliance for the benefit of all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nice deep breath in and a big sound. Wipe off your arms, wipe off, shake the body, hold yourself, give yourself a big hug, and just feel a good feeling, and just feeling the essence of completion, and just thanking yourself for showing up and feeling a good feeling. And say thank you for joining me on this journey. Tomorrow, we're going to be tuning into creating our map and our compass of where you're going and how you want to feel and be felt along the way. I'm your guide and ally, Pedro Juan. Thank you for allowing me to serve and support you. And invitation, if there's anybody else in your life, in your loved ones, your family, your friends, your network that you feel like may benefit from this, people are allowed to join in the first 3 days. And so as long as they consume the recordings, they can be a part of this container together. So I say thank you for spreading the good word and being a part of this beautiful gift of life. Sending you so, 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 so much love. Mucho, 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 mucho amor. Aho, amen, ashe, namaste. And I pray you'll have a beautiful, blessed remainder of your day. And we say, aho, matakuye oyasin. We say, may we be in right relation with all of creation. I give thanks.